Not interested. You're dead. You're all fucking dead. Nothing. Jeez, what the hell? Guts? Fish guts? Shit, show yourself. Show yourself!
Hello? Excuse me. I was waiting for someone and... Ah, there she is. If they're all morons like this one, we should be home for dinner.
Oh, special meal?
The sushi bar phone number is on my desk.
Ah. Clear.
Ready? I'm right behind you.
Hey there guys, it's Silver, and I thought I'd do something a little different. We're going to have, I don't know, between 15 minutes to 30 minutes, half an hour of Fear Effect Sedna, because I am quite a fan of the original two Fear Effect games, like very close to the same level I enjoy Resident Evil. So
The target will be in the back room.
Surrounded by his fellow creatures.
They're all for show.
we're going to enjoy this game for a little while. Now, I know there was a lot of contention surrounding this one, especially since outlets reviewed it like it was going to be a full AAA release. But let's be honest, one, what do bog standard industry video game reviewers know about actually reviewing games anymore? And two, it's an indie project, crowdfunded, and done by Sushee Game & Code, a small French company, with the blessing of Square Enix Collective, so it's not like it was a major budget title. Enter stealth mode, sneaking reduces noise and visibility. While sneaking, you can kill enemies by pressing X, but only if they didn't detect you.
There's someone.
He's turned and alone. I'll ambush him. Watch my back.
Now, I don't know how I feel about the isometric viewpoint of this game. I'm just grateful for the fact that we actually have another Fear Effect game to essentially tide us over until the release of Fear Effect Reinvented, and goodness knows when that one's coming.
Fuck that. Tax never pays. Bring it on.
Don't keep the fun part all to yourself.
Sorry, I'd love to share, but this door is not cooperating.
Did you ask nicely?
Did you ask nicely?
Nearly. There's nothing I can do from here.
I'll go and check the other way. Security systems offer no resistance to me. I'll save the princess.
Good luck.
This is definitely some 2000s era voice acting, but I don't care. People criticised everything in this game, from its mechanics, to its AI, to its voice acting. Now, the characterization and the voice acting is perfectly fine to me. It took a bit of adjusting to the new gameplay system we have, but the actual puzzles and the other things that we have in terms of characters are completely fine by me. Right. Skills are unique to each character. Unlike regular weapons, skills have limited ammunition. Loot the ammunition from dead enemies or objects throughout the level. You can switch weapons and skills by pressing... Wonderful. You can read the description on the skills in the menu, Mercenaries.
Hi guys. No time to play. Wanna try my taser?
Well,
Oh shit. That was close.
yep. Fear influences the strengths and weaknesses of the characters. The higher your fear, the higher damage you'll deal, but the lower your resistance will be. Fear rises when your characters are hurt, when they're surrounded, or when they face stressful events. To reduce your fear, you can use a medkit, which I assume is the triangle button, given the lovely little UI we have underneath here. Yep, it is. Alright. Medkit. Okay, that's fine.
Look, I found the princess.
You'll have your reward. Meanwhile, how do we proceed?
We just need to push the button at the same time.
I expected something tough.
So much disappointment.
Right. Let me just maneuver Hannah towards the door.
Wait for me here.
Right.
Follow me.
Very good. Now Hannah's following. Switch back to her. Awesome.
Stay here.
Tactics. When you want to enter in tactical pause... Hold on. Yeah, when you want to enter in tactical pause, press the middle button. In tactical pause, the time is frozen so you can plan the actions of all your characters more strategically. Give them orders by controlling them just like in active mode. Cancel orders by pressing L2. When you press the middle button again, your orders will be validated and you'll go back to active mode. Okay. Right. That's fine. Synergies and combinations of two skills or two different characters. Yep. Combinations of two skills of two characters. To create a synergy, use two compatible skills at the same time and it will create a powerful attack. Try different combinations or skills to find new synergies. Oh wait, let me get rid of those. We don't want that. I don't. Did we heal? I think we did. Alright. So we'll put Hannah there. And we'll have her take cover, which is
Stay here.
fine.
Who's the king of the party?
Rather a queen, in red.
Good evening, guys.
Right, they're not moving. Got
You're
him.
done.
That's a relief. This place is a pool of blood.
You look pale. You okay?
Just a scratch.
I must admit that the fact that they've added to Fear Effect's canon lore with this game is what I find most enjoyable. Because, like I said, I played Fear Effect when I was way too young to actually play it. Let's be frank about that. When Fear Effect came out on the original PS1, I was not old enough to play that game, but I remember that I saw it at random one day. I believe it was on the shelf in one of our wholesale stores that also sold video games, and the box art looked really, really cool. So I decided to just pick it up and took it home and played it, and it was really, really difficult for young me, but I really enjoyed it. And obviously, being much younger, the storyline, especially in the later half of the game, where things go absolutely up the wall, scared me to death, but I enjoyed it. And then when several years later, sort of like in my, I don't know, should we say early teens? Because I was always a late console adopter, back when everybody else had, well, like, was coming into the age of, the PS2 was later into its lifespan, and there was talk of the PS3 being a thing. I was still comfortably playing my PS2 and a lot of my PS1 games. So I remember picking up Fear Effect 2 Retro Helix at our local video store. In fact, I got it and played it for like all 5 days of the rental that I had, non-stop, back to back, and I loved it. And it was one of those games where the years went by, and new console generations came out, but I still had quite the love of survival horror. So I would get the PS2 out on quite a regular basis and keep on playing Fear Effect right up until my late teens, and I believe the last time I played it was, it's gotta be several years ago now. I got it as a download on the PlayStation 3, and I played it again on there, and it was still just as enjoyable as I remember all those years ago. I like the dark tone and the Chinese mythology that is laced into the game's storyline. Anyway, we are
Follow me.
not really doing much here, are we? There is a puzzle.
I found the tough job.
What's that?
It's a booby-trapped cargo.
Shit. How do we defuse it?
There will be puzzles throughout the game. You'll have to think them through to resolve them. Beware, some clues are hidden in the level. Don't forget to look around. Right. Now this is one thing the game really gets right. Classic Fear Effect puzzles. Like, I've only played the first couple of hours of this thing, but in the couple of hours I've played, not counting this little run through we're doing here. They really did get the puzzles right. So, let's have a look at that wall puzzle, shall we? In fact, we'll have Rain do it, because she's the puzzle solver of the group. So, it's armed. If we press the wrong... or disconnect the wrong wires while disarming, it's going to go off. So, we'll have to be careful to ensure that does not happen. One moment. Right. So, let us go back for a moment and figure out... See, that says 2, 3. And obviously it corresponds to a colour. So, it's obviously telling you which wires to remove and which to leave intact. So we have a 3-1 there. And I'm sure if we go back through the facility, we will be able to find the other corresponding colour. And I assume that means the wires we need to pull. If my very simple puzzle solving abilities are anything to go by, which, let's be frank, they're usually not. But we'll go with it anyway. 2. So the blue wire needs the second one pulling. Ugh. Isometric, getting stuck on the backgrounds. So yeah, I think we'll just play the first opening segment of this game just for the fun of it. I mean, if you want more, by all means, let me know. And I will definitely do this in between our commentary playthrough of Dead Rising, which has just recently arrived on the channel. Right. Classic Fear Effect death screens. So we don't do that again. We absolutely don't do that again. Right. We obviously have to do it in a certain order as well. Because if we don't, that happens. So green, then blue, then red. Okay. So we need to go back and find the green panel. Where is the green panel? Unless we've already walked past it and I haven't noticed. Yeah, we've walked past it and I haven't noticed. Yeah, this first little playthrough is just going to be me just wandering aimlessly. I would like to bring some of the OG Fear effects to the channel. I really would. But I would need to get hold of a capture card to do that. So right. 2, 3. Disarmed. Then you need to pull 2. And then it's 3 and 1. Disarmed.
Well done. Cargo is saved and competitors are ruled out.
Enough for today. Let's go home.
Now I sense... One moment.
another good payday.
It was quite fun. Does your arm still hurt?
The payday is mitigating the pain.
Story of my life.
Ours.
We should buy a rooftop flat.
But we wouldn't take the lift anymore.
Good point.
Now that right there is a callback to the second game. Floor 54.
You don't like it anymore?
Too long in one place gets me. You know.
Places. Okay. What about people?
Like weapons and clothes. Once I find something I like, I stick with it.
Now, there was a huge controversy.
Smoke. Smelly. Don't kill me. Selfish.
Yeah, as I was saying, there was a huge controversy in the early 2000s when the second Fear Effect game came out, and, you know, Hana's bisexual. Rain is, as far as we know from canon storyline, she's gay. And there was a huge controversy involving a scene in which Hana and Rain kissed in an elevator. In fact, that elevator scene was responsible for quite a few shocked responses, surprises, and, you know, that general kind of, well, surprise in the early 2000s. I don't know if I've said surprise, but it was a surprise to a lot of people because, you know, things have changed a lot since the early 2000s, and the issue of relationships and gaming and characters within gaming has evolved greatly. Like, nobody cares that two girls are kissing in a video game anymore. It's 2019. But back then, things were very different.
Watch my back.
I'll follow.
Good. Do follow, by all means. There's a dude here. Let's speak to him.
Last idiot that broke into our place left out the window. And it's a long way down.
Forgive the intrusion. I am unarmed.
Even if that is a lie, it's about to be the truth. Who the hell are you? You have 30 seconds before I shoot you down.
Then to the point. I'm here to offer you a mission. A very well-paid mission, I might add.
We don't take missions from people infiltrating our home.
Let me introduce it. Choice is yours.
30 more seconds.
Here's the target. Loves antiques. He owns a statuette that we would really love to have.
We aren't thieves. Want one of those? Try them all at lunchtime.
You are mercenaries, which means we can agree on a fair financial arrangement. That makes you trustworthy persons.
Depends on the financial arrangement. Who's the ex?
The Chinese ambassador to France.
Embassy. And embarrassments.
Triad's manners. Brilliant.
That's why we need your skills to take him out and get the statuette. I've left my number and your number on the tablet. Please consider one and then contact the other.
Let's keep an eye out. He might have forgotten something.
You know, I would absolutely love to review Fear Effect Reinvented when it comes out. In fact, I might do that. I'm definitely going to play it through for the channel without commentary first, and then with commentary afterwards. And I would also consider doing my first ever review for the channel on Fear Effect Reinvented. It's going to have to wait a little while, because it'll be a larger project, and I'll also need a capture card, because I'd like to do some comparisons between the earlier Fear Effect games and the, you know, the remake. So, we'd have to wait and do that, but I'd definitely consider it. And, you know, if the guys at the odds of the guys at Sushee Games and Code seeing this video is almost non-existent. Like, they're a small dev studio themselves, you know? They're a small dev studio from France. They will not see this video. But if they did, you know, hey, wanna get in contact with for a review copy? I would totally review Fear Effect Reinvented. I would be eager and excited to do so. Like I said, my love for the Fear Effect series is on par with Resident Evil, even though a lot of people just call it like a copy of the early survival horror situation that we had. Right, let's check the apartment, make sure it's clear, and then probably bring an end to this part.
Nothing special here.
Because, well, sorry, I lost my trail of thought there. Yeah, I think I finished the original Fear Effect twice. I finished Retro Helix once, and I started a third playthrough of the original Fear Effect to get the true ending by finishing the game on hard mode. I haven't done that yet, but I need to, because, yeah, that's the way you find out what really happened. Hard mode. Anyway, I know this video has more focus on me talking about how much I enjoy Fear Effect, as opposed to, you know, actually playing this game, but, you know, it's true. I enjoy these. I would have really liked to see what could have happened when it came to the third game in the series, Fear Effect Inferno. Now, that game was discontinued. There's one last thing I have to find in here and press. And I have the observational skills, especially when it comes to isometric screens, of somebody who wears glasses. Or let me rephrase that, because I don't want to upset anybody. I have the observational skills of somebody who is very short-sighted, even though I don't wear glasses. That is what I was trying to say there. Where is it? You have to press one last thing to end this scene. And there's one of my few critiques of this game was two of my fair critiques: AI of the combat system and the lack of representation on screen. Things aren't really shown to you in terms of what you need to do. You're just given this wide, like I said, isometric screen, and you just have to work with it. So that, and well, one of my hopes is that by playing this, it actually brings a bit more attention to the game itself, because only a handful of people actually reviewed it and played it through in any kind of detail, because the critical reception immediately put a lot of people off. So I know there are maybe a dozen or so people who I've seen in passing that have reviewed this in detail. There. No.
It looks like he didn't touch anything.
I don't see anything left. He came alone and empty-handed.
Good news, I guess.
Right.
He beat the security system. He's more than just a mouthpiece.
And he's got money. A lot of it, which he is willing to give to us.
I don't know. Doesn't smell good. But didn't stop you before.
It's really well paid. And besides, I'm pretty sure I have already met this guy.
Which one?
The ambassador. He reminds me of someone I had to fight against. I'm just not sure. It's not really his face, it's more...
Sounds even worse.
Yep, wasn't a mission.
Don't tell me that was in hell.
Who knows? That's why I'm so curious. Why would the Triads have any interest with this one?
No doubt you want to go now.
I never took you to Paris. It's time. And a good occasion to discover my birthplace.
And infiltrating an embassy. What a wild weekend.
I like when you go wild.
Because I'm wild and woolly?
Goodness me.
More seriously, we should ask for support.
Who were you thinking about?
Deke. We haven't worked together for a while, but I'm sure he'll be in for this mission. Anyway, he always needs money.
A trip to Paris with you and Deke. How romantic.
Ah yes, Deke is awesome. But yeah, I get the feeling that the translation between the original French script and the localized version that we got in the game was very literal.
So let's sum everything up again. Rain and I will access the embassy via the rooftop. Deke will be introduced as a servant.
Obviously my resume was perfect for this mission.
You'll look amazing with an apron, as usual.
Rain, you'll have to get rid of security drones before I climb.
I already have everything I need to know about their system. I'll be quick.
You'll cover us from the roof, and I'll get into the offices. Deke, you'll gather as much information as possible from guests and hosts. We'll stay in contact and join when we're sure where the statuette is. I'll bring your weapons.
Pity we couldn't find where it is now.
I'm sure you don't want to miss the party.
True. French girls.
Don't even look at her better half.
Once I have the statuette, everything will move quickly. We will go out from the south offices so Rain can focus on our target. All the rooms for the party are on this side. There's no way the ambassador can escape from your sight. If something goes wrong, I'll deal with it.
Not on your lonesome, Sheila. Dealing with problems is why I get out of bed in the morning.
And it brings in the money.
Indeed. Right. We'll probably stop in a minute. Just gonna talk a little bit more before I call an end to this part. One thing that really bugged me, another criticism of the game, was the fact that people bashed Deke's new voice actor. Not, you know, aggressively or any way, or were overly critical to him personally. On a personal basis, is what I was trying to say. It's the fact that they said his accent resembled somebody trying to emulate a native Australian. When I've watched some of the podcasts and various things that were done on the Residents of Evil channel, and Deke's voice actor is a native Australian. He's a native-born Australian who has spent the bulk of his life in Australia. And yet they criticised him for not sounding Australian enough. Anyway, yeah. So, let's sum up things that I like about this game. An expansion to the Fear Effect storyline. Obviously, that's all too good. Because, well, let's face it, the Fear Effect storyline was kind of just left after Fear Effect Inferno was discontinued. And I actually don't have any issues with the voice actors. The voice actors they have chosen for the roles are absolutely on point. Hannah and Rain especially sound really, really accurate to the original voice actresses in the earlier two games. Criticisms, if I'm going to be honest and unbiased in every way, because, you know, you can love things about a game and also dislike them in equal measure. The new combat system was a bold idea, and I think it's interesting that they decided to go with it, but the execution was unfortunately not as tight as I would have liked. So I'd say that's more of a moderate viewpoint, or a, yeah, not an outright harsh criticism or a hard criticism, but just something to take note of. And, well, really, there's that. And less of a complaint, more of an observation, like I said earlier. The Sushee Games & Code are a French-based company who got the rights to make this game through the Square Enix Collective program. So they then crowdfunded it, and I, for a time, followed the game's development in the crowdfunding stages until it came out and obviously released. So, being a... I'm trying to be tactful here in the way I say this, because like I said, being obviously a French company, they will have obviously written up the original dialogue in French before translating it for the English-speaking voice actors. Now, you can sometimes get the feeling when translation has taken place that the translation of words and the way they come across is very literal in terms of from French to direct English meaning without contextual understanding of certain elements of another language. And it comes across that way here. Like, I don't mind it, but you can see it. Now, I'm not a masterclass writer by any means. I'm not. I write as a hobby, and it's something that I would like to take seriously at some point in my life. But something they always say when it comes to the quality of writing is, you know, don't make things too literal. You know, give them a bit of unique, distinctive flair, and each character more of an appealing personality. Now, that's one thing they've definitely done. They've given all the characters personality. Like, Rain, you can see a bit of the chemistry between Rain and Hannah here, just like in the first piece we played. Rain, you can see she's a bit insecure, and she is envious of other people looking at Hannah. You can see that. She always doted and was very, very affectionate towards Hannah. So they brought that forward very well in this game. Just like Hannah, because of her past as a mercenary and her rough upbringing as, well, essentially a Chinese urchin that was adopted, or a Chinese Parisian orphan that was adopted, then turned mercenary, who had also been involved with the Triad. She had a very difficult life, and doesn't like to be tied down to one place too long. It makes her feel unsafe, and they also highlighted that here. And Deke, well, Deke's in it for the money. Deke's always been in it for the money, and he doesn't discriminate. So, yeah, we haven't seen enough of Glass to make judgments. I mean, I saw him later on in the game, and you can tell there's some tension there between him and Hannah, because there was always this strange dynamic, and it was even hinted at in Inferno that Glass had feelings for Hannah. Like, underlying feelings, like, he cared about her and held her in high regard, and that was hinted at, which put him at odds with Rain, ever so slightly, because, you know, they were also involved. So, yeah, there's a hint of that. Well, there's a hint of the romantic involvement between the characters. It's ever so slight in dialogue later on in terms of how Glass walks away from them after a job and does not have any contact with the rest of the group for quite a long time. Anyway, if you want more of this video, we will cover that. Want more of this video. If you want more of this game, then let me know, and I will play it through for you, and we will cover it in, yeah, later parts. alongside, you know, the Dead Rising playthrough we're doing. So this has been Silver. As always, thank you for your time, and it's always greatly appreciated. So feel free to, you know, leave some feedback, a comment, a like, a dislike, whatever you wish to do. And as always, if you're new and you enjoy what I do, feel free to subscribe or that kind of thing for more content. Well, I don't like the word content, more gameplay, because content just feels very bland and devoid of any, you know, meaning. So yeah, I enjoy playing these games, and I want to see... Well, that's really the main reason I do it. I enjoy these games, and if other people are having fun watching me play the things that I derive enjoyment from playing, more power to you. Anyway, I will see you again soon, and thank you for your time. As always, it's greatly appreciated. And one last thank you to the guys at Sushee Game & Code for making this game. It's, as a die-hard Fear Effect fan who really enjoyed them when he was younger, played them more as he grew older, and then was quite upset when Fear Effect Inferno was discontinued. Thank you for continuing the storyline, and I look forward to seeing Fear Effect reinvented. Now I'm getting tongue-tied. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye bye.